Welcome to the Massage Tools Podcast, your home for cool interviews and reviews.
And in '85, I decided that I needed to find out more about this new thing called sports massage. Because the '84 Olympics, the AMTA had started a sports massage team, and they had done some training. And my mentor, John Harris, Rich Fay from the old, who used to be he was like the first Nike massage therapist. You know Rich? Have you ever talked to Rich?
I have not, no.
He wrote a book. He co-wrote a book with an author called Athletic Massage, based on his experience as the massage therapist for Nike in Oregon. Rich is still in practice, by the way. And then Dr. Mike Hungerford, who was active in the AMTA, they put together a training program for sports massage. And in those days, I thought, how much different? There are only so many ways you can do massage, right? So I just decided I needed to do something different, and so I started this training with John Harris was the main instructor at that time, and it was basically an intensive, like, I think it was like a 2-week program where we met almost every day for most of the day. There were 8 or 10 people in the class, and that's how I got introduced to sports massage. And it was like, this is interesting. This is really fun work. I like working on these types of clients. I never was really interested in just doing relaxation massage. And so, even when I was working for chiropractor, it's kind of injury focused. And so the sports massage training just sort of blended into that. So I credit John Harris with a lot of my success in many of my endeavors over the years. And he had a massage. He had started a massage center in Encinitas, which was kind of a massage co-op. And when I moved from San Diego to Encinitas after I met my now wife, and we moved to Encinitas. You probably spent some time in there. Great little beach town, North County, San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
We lived. My wife Trina and I, we lived a couple blocks from Moonlight Beach, and the massage center was a couple blocks toward town from us. And so I started to work there. And at that time, Encinitas was like the hotbed of triathlon. There were a lot of professional triathletes who lived up in that North County area. So there were a lot of them who came to the massage center. And so, again, lots of opportunity to do sports massage with clients there. So.
Okay. If you don't mind me putting on the spot for a second,
Yeah.
how do you define or what sets sport massage apart from other disciplines of massage or other styles, or however you might want to articulate it?
Yeah. Well, that's a very interesting question. I'll just tell. There are only so many ways that you can touch the body. There are only, there's longitudinal strokes, there's cross fiber strokes, there's circular strokes, there's deep, there's compression. So that's in that sense, it's true. There's only so many ways you can do it. So sports, you call it sport massage, I call it sports massage. Yeah, whatever. I think it has to do, it's more of an approach to the work as opposed to any particular technique. Although I do think that there is a certain level of standardization in the way people are trained to do sports massage. Most of us learn some kind of compression work, some kind of cross fiber work, some kind of deep stripping work. Maybe we add some kind of stretching into the session, things like that. So in terms of the work itself, if we think about event work versus table work, like what most of us call maintenance work, right, or injury recovery work, there's some specific approaches that we use in sports massage that maybe sort of your average massage therapist hasn't really been trained in. So the friction work, the deep transverse friction work based on celiacs was part of my training. The cross fiber, the broad cross fiber work, there's a bunch of different variations on how that's done, but your average massage therapist may not even learn that in their initial training. So long version of it's more like the approach to the work and who's on the table with you as opposed to any particular like style that's standardized across our industry.
Yeah, I've play around with the or kind of the definition, I should say, of it's really the understanding of when to apply techniques as opposed to a collection of techniques. So if you're 5 minutes before an event, you're not going to do deep work that could inhibit or cause injury or whatnot that you can do in a maintenance phase, and then vice versa. And so it's just kind of understanding what techniques appropriate to the training or competition cycle. That's how I operate with it, because I feel most of it kind of falls into maybe like a more of a medical massage category. Like, I don't know, I kind of put like injury care sort of in that medical or therapeutic group, and then whatnot. But that's how I think of it in my own mind and organize it.
Well, I think that's a valid approach, and you could take that same understanding to any type of massage. Really, it's like who's on the table, what do they need, and what what tools in my repertoire am I going to be able to use in what order, right, to accomplish the outcome that we're looking for. So whether you're doing relaxation massage or craniosacral work or sport massage or acupuncture, it's all the same. It's like I have training in all these different varieties of work, right? Here's a person on my table. What is it how are we going to interact to achieve the best outcome? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
And,
asked you about the
and
Sorry, good.
and that being said, sports massage is also kind of like a marketing technique,
Absolutely.
right? When an athlete is looking for a massage, the sport massage it's out in the culture now, and that's what they're looking for. Or they're calling you up saying, "I need deep tissue work." Well, what is that exactly? Depends who you talk to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's one thing I'll acknowledge is sport massage as a marketing term it's helped increase male participation or male clientele. That's as soon as they kind of phrased it that way, it changed the perception just a little bit. So it made it more culturally, at least in the US, acceptable for guys to get massage, because to play up the bravado, like, oh, I'm gonna go get a sport massage, they'll be like, oh, that's cool, like sports, yeah, all right, so it's good marketing. And like yeah, to your point, yes, it's an excellent marketing term.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it has also allowed male therapists to be more successful in the business because uh, the same idea, sports massage. We're working with athletes, right? Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Speaking of sport massage, how did you break into that initially?
Well, let me refer back to John Harris, now late John Harris. Unfortunately, um, he was my main trainer in the sports massage uh, classes that I took. Uh, and John worked at the '84 Olympics, I believe, and he and Dr. Mike Hungerford really sort of put this program together. So I did that training, and then I started to work in the massage center that he was founder of. It was basically a massage co-op. And so that's really how I broke into sport massage, just working on the clients that were coming into the door there. And I started working in the massage center, I think in '86. Um, and then around that time, John had set up a standalone 500-hour sports massage program, also in Encinitas, just a few blocks away from the massage center. So he invited me to start to teach there, and I mean, I was I had never done any teaching at all. So what I did first was to shadow the instructors that he had. And so that 500-hour program really broadened my knowledge about the various aspects of sport massage. And that's where I learned how to do piano stretching. We had people come in and talk about sports nutrition, sports psychology. So, uh, so that expanded my training, and basically, I that was like free training for me because I was shadowing to learn how to teach some of this stuff. And when Trina and I decided to move to Colorado Springs, I just decided that that was how when I moved here, I was going to really focus on having a sports massage practice. And so that's what I did. And when I moved to the Springs, I was lucky enough to meet a massage therapist here who was fully networked through the whole town. It was very small in those days, but she knew everybody. And so she was excited to have, oh, this guy from California is a sports massage therapist. He's coming to Colorado Springs. So she really, she opened a lot of doors for me and referred clients to me. And, she introduced me to the owners of the running store. She introduced me to people over at the Olympic Training Center that she knew. So it was very valuable for me to sort of be connected to her. And unfortunately, that relationship professionally sort of fell apart a few years later. But that's really how I, if you want to say, broke into it. That's how I got into where I am now.
Okay.
So,
And have you been able to do any big events with sport massage?
uh, I, uh, I've worked at a couple of big events. Mostly, I haven't really been that interested in traveling to do events. For 5 years, I ran a sports massage team here in Colorado Springs, and we did some events locally, especially the Pikes Peak Ascent and Marathon, where we would have uh, 15 massage therapists in the area, the post the recovery area after the marathon. Do you know the Pikes Peak Marathon? Pikes Peak is our 14,100-foot mountain here, and every summer they have a weekend where athletes will compete first in the half marathon, which is the run up the mountain, and then they bust them back down. And the next day, they run up the mountain, and then they turn around and run back down the mountain. And so we would set up the massage area, and people would finish their races and come and hang out and hydrate and eat. We would offer massage therapy, and one of the conditions that I had for doing that event was that we had to get paid, which is there was a lot of pushback from the race directors who said, "Why should the athletes pay for a massage?" And we're like, "Well, why shouldn't they?" We're out here working, we really, I've never been a big fan of working for free as a way to like market yourself. Like, oh, get your name out there. So that was a good kind of 5 year run. And then the race directors changed and they were like, we're not going to have you come anymore. We're going to get students from the school who come and work for free. Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a couple of there's a couple events that there's a couple years ago I went out to Portland to work at the track and field championships, and that was a lot of fun. But I went out for just part of that. A lot of those therapists went and spent a week doing that one, and then there was the worlds were right afterwards, and they stayed 2 weeks. I just I'm sorry, I can't afford to do that. You know what I'm
It's quite
saying?
a, yeah. No,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
I love to travel with teams, but I
yeah,
understand that that works for my lifestyle, that works for my desires and passions, and not everybody's going to have that. So I don't. There's
right,
not an expectation. So by all
yeah,
means,
yeah,
everyone's experience is valid, but it's
sure,
it's
right.
definitely
If
right
I,
into it.
and if I was single and in my 30s again, I'd probably do that. But I'm not. I
What are
did.
you
I
accusing
did.
me of?
Wait, no, nothing. No.
Just,
Uh, I did. I did also work at the Olympic Training Center and the Recovery Center for a few years part time, and so that was a lot of fun too to work with the Olympians and And I am currently a volunteer for USA Swimming.
Okay.
And when they have clinics here, or if they have athletes in town, um, you know, an occasional volunteer effort like that is fine for me. But I've already, even with USA Swimming, I've been invited to go to events, and I'm like, it's really not where my interest lies. You know, I love working with the athletes, but I have a full practice, so and I don't want to abandon my paying clients
Mhm.
who work for free for, even though they're, you know, elite athletes. It's I just, you know,
Sure.
haven't been able to make that, been able to justify that. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely acceptable. There's, no
Yeah.
one, no one can put any protest
Yeah.
up to that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, folks. The mission of Massage Tools Podcast is to inspire. So help us inspire you. Ask questions, leave suggestions in the comments section. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more content, please click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and hey, check out these links for other videos here.